students! This is Ma'am Elvi Salvador. Today, we will learn the basics of first aid, its importance, rules, and the do's and don'ts. But most importantly, how to give first aid. Remember, having somebody prepared in medical aid can carry prompt help to the victim. In fact, well-prepared individuals are bound to make quick move in any situation or emergency, especially this time of pandemic. Did you and your loved ones experience having injuries while doing sports and other physical activities? If yes, this one is for you. Are you ready to learn something new today? If yes, that is great. Before anything else, let us define first what is the meaning of first aid. First aid is an immediate and temporary care given to a person who suddenly gets ill or injured. Let's talk about the rules of first aid. Number 1, it is a bridge that fills the gap between the victim and the physician. Number 2, it is not intended to compete with or to take place of the services of the physician. And last, number 3, it ends when the services of the physician begins. What are the characteristics of a good first aider? Number 1, gentle, meaning he or she does not cause harm or panic to the victim. Number 2, being observant. He or she notices all the signs. Number 3, resourceful, makes the best use of things at hand. Number 4, being tactful or does not frighten the victim. And last, number 5, sympathetic. He comforts and reassures the victim. The principles of first aid. Let's talk about first the do's in giving first aid. Number 1, do stay calm. Number 2, do reassures and comfort the victim. Number 3, do check for medical bracelet indicating a condition such as epilepsy and diabetes. Number 4, do loosen any tight clothing. And last, number 5, do keep the victim covered to reduce the shock. Now that we know the do's in giving first aid, let's talk about the don'ts in giving first aid. Number 1, don't give food and drink to an unconscious victim or a person. And number 2, don't move an injured person unless you need to place him or her in the recovery position. Here are some of the common injury that is usually encountered by a player or an athlete and its corresponding first aid treatment.
The first injury is a sprain. It is caused by torn fibers in ligament. Swelling and bruising are some signs and symptoms of sprain. The first aid for sprain. Number 1, loosen footwear and immobilize the ankle. Number 2, apply the RICE principle or the rest, ice, compression, and elevation. Number 3, the victim's physician may recommend an over-the-counter anti-inflammatory medication such as paracetamol.
Next injury is strain. Strain is different from sprain. It is a twist, pull, or tear of muscle or tendon connecting muscles to bones. The symptoms of strains it includes pain, muscle spasm, and loss of strength.
The first aid for strain. Number 1, apply RICE principle or the rest, ice, compression, and elevation. Number 2, do not apply hot pack during the first 2 days. 3, use paracetamol for the first day of the injury to reduce pain without increasing bleeding. 4, don't give the person anything to eat or drink in case surgery is needed.
The third injury is fracture. What is fracture? Fracture is a break in the bone that can occur from either a quick one-time injury to the bone over time called stress fracture. Did you know that there are two types of fractures, the simple and the compound fractures? Simple fractures happens when bone breaks cleanly but does not penetrate the skin, while compound fracture happens when broken ends of bones protrude through the skin.
The first aid for fracture. Number 1, immobilize the affected area. Number 2, keep the limb in the position you found it and place soft padding around the broken bones. Splint the injury with something rigid such as rolled up newspaper or magazine to prevent the bones from shifting. Number 3, if there is an open injury, cover it with a clean gauze pad. Apply pressure to control bleeding and get medical attention immediately. The last common injury is muscle cramps. It is a strong, painful contraction or tightening of a muscle that comes on suddenly and lasts from few seconds to several minutes. The first aid for muscle cramp. Number 1, stretch the cramp muscle and gently rub it to help it relax. Number 2, try pulling the top of your foot on the affected side toward your head while your leg remains in a straightened position. Number 3, for a front high cramps, use a chair to steady yourself and try pulling your foot on the affected side up toward your buttock. And number 4, use a warm towel or heating pad.
That is all for our first aid lesson. I hope you learned something new today. Again, this is your teacher, Ma'am LV. Have a good day!